Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is going to get you that fresh, good food to your house super easy. Also, today we're brought to you by MeUndies. MeUndies are the undies that I have on me. Now let's jump into this podcast.
Hello, everybody, it's time for Cox and Crendor.
Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. Before our recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up, it's up next Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Whoa, what did I just say? It doesn't even matter. Cox and Crendor in the morning.
That's one of my favorite podcasts.
Long title, but you know what? It's fine.
Yeah. No, it's way better than the old version of the show.
Yeah, that one sucked. That one wasn't very good.
How's it going? Yeah.
Can I tell you today? Speaking of this show that isn't very good,
Yeah.
a guy came into my stream today and was like, "Dude, I just want to say, Jesse, I love you, man. I haven't watched any of your stuff, but I love Cox and Crendor." And I was like, "Whoa!" So I think I found the one person who does not do anything outside of this one show. Which to that guy, I say, you are as rare as a unicorn. You may not exist. You are like a dodo. You are the last of your kind.
I don't know. I've legit seen some people that are like, yeah, I just watch Cox and Crendor or listen to it. I guess if you're watching, it's kind of weird.
But never has, how do they find us?
And
why do they care about us outside of our normal stuff that we do? This is like the ancillary, whatever word I was just trying to say.
This is like the ancillary of podcast ancillaries.
Exactly.
Well, I would say that some people don't care about video games. All right, or maybe some people back in the day when they were younger and they'd watch us with TB and Dodger and all that stuff. Then maybe now they're older. They got a kid, they got a wife and a husband, a family, and all that. They got a job and stuff, and they can't even watch streams or video. They don't care about video games, don't play as much. Maybe they're just you know what? I just want to hear a podcast. Just want to hear some goofs.
Well, this is the place to come for all the goofs.
All the ancillaries.
So many goofs.
Plus, there's probably just people that found us on YouTube looking up that one bear. Big Hank or whatever his name.
Oh my God, Hank the Tank?
Hank the
Tank,
I
believe that. Hank the Tank spoke to me, and I you know what? I'm proud that we covered that as much as we did.
Hey, we probably got new viewers this week. There's some people being Big Lou's fake. I gotta listen to these guys more often.
these guys really know what's up. They're on the cutting edge of news broadcasts.
Breaking news. Ancillaries have taken over. So yeah.
Yep.
That's what were we talking about? What did you say?
I don't know. You asked me what was going on in my life, and that's just something that came up in my mind. So can I tell you another thing that happened?
Okay.
That I had to go on the defensive this week. Last week, I said that I went out on a date with this girl. Well, my mom messaged me Jesse, you should apologize to everyone. I was like, what? She's like, you came off like an asshole. I'm like, what? And here's the thing. I had another person message me that too, and they were like, you know what? It just sounds like she's from a small town. And she probably moved to LA, and she just, when she says she travels, her definition of travel isn't explore the world like you hot shot. Her definition of travel is she goes to Palm Springs. First off, she was born and raised in Southern California. So I'm not gonna fight that fight. Mm-hmm. Second off, to my mother specifically, when someone says they travel, the implication is that they travel, not jump on the 405 and drive for 2 hours. You know what I mean? There's a whole implication with the word travel, right? I don't know. I was just like, what are you talking about? I'm the bad guy? She told me she travels and likes to go hiking, but she doesn't do either of those things. I was like, I'm not going to apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. I was being honest. She said she did these things and then didn't do them. I was commenting on that, not the fact that well, she isn't up to my standards. No, she clearly is up to my standards. We went out on a date. I just wasn't into her once we went on the date. Even my own mom came after me. Oh, Crendor.
Did she say anything else?
Here's the direct quote from my mother. I am disappointed in you. Ouch, dude. Ouch.
Dude, we're hitting the roots again. It's like my mom would have been like, hey, you got a C, good job.
My mom has no problem telling me when she thinks I've screwed up. None whatsoever. Talking trash about a middle-class woman that can only afford to go to San Francisco and Palm Springs makes you look pompous. I didn't think that's what I said. I didn't think that's what I said. I was upset that she said she likes to travel, and then when I said, "Oh, where have you been?" she said Palm Springs and San Francisco. That's I was saying.
That's true. You don't know about her financial situation. She might be rich. She could travel wherever she wants.
The idea of I like to travel.
Yeah.
It has a connotation to it. And maybe I am pompous because I imagine that travel is a broader term than just like I go to the same places over and over again. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I do this. I go to the same places over and over again, but I don't say I travel, even though
That's what I'm
like when I
saying.
travel, I'm going to like San Antonio or like Boston or England or like, oh.
Yeah, you're traveling around like experience. I don't know, man. It's
Like,
just
you could be like, oh, I traveled from my chair to my car. Like, oh, I
that's what I'm
traveled
saying.
there.
Yes. It's the word usage that I was upset about. That's what I was saying. I'm not upset that she like went to San Francisco, and I'm not upset she went to Palm Springs. I don't care. In fact, it doesn't bother me. It's just that was one of the examples of what I was saying to you about how I didn't feel a connection to her. Not that I was making fun of her for it, but because I was expecting something different, and what I received was not what I was expecting. And I was like, oh, we have a disconnect here. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to make it comical, not like, and now self-analytical Jesse will have a conversation with his dear friend Crendor about the ins and outs of dating in Southern California in the early 2022 years. Like, no, I was just being goofy. Anyway, continuing
The show's
on.
not goofy. The show is serious. It's ancillary, and it just dives into the depths of the human mind.
Yes, well, continuing on, my mother. Remember, you came from a family that worked every day and could only afford those kinds of things. Not everyone has money. So she may be boring to you, but she is a basic middle-class American. Don't make fun of your audience. I was like, whoa! First off, only rich Saudi princes listen to this show.
That's true.
Second,
Also, please subscribe with Twitch Prime. I need it.
I mean, come on, yeah. Second, I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. That wasn't my objective. I was simply saying that we were not compatible at all. And also, that's not true, because we went to Florida. I went to DC when I was a kid. I went to New York with my dad when he was on a business trip. We would go and see my grandparents in Pennsylvania all the time. When I was like, we would visit. We went to Georgia and we visited. Like, we traveled around.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, and maybe that means I'm lucky. I don't know. And if that's the case, then that's fine. But like,
Well, your mom said don't make fun of your audience?
I'm talking down to those in our audience who cannot afford to travel a great deal.
Oh no, we got some rich audience people out there. Dude, I've got some like people that listen to me, they're just like, oh yeah, I'm like a ultra super tech wizard for the government identifying disease particles, and I'm like, I don't know what the shit you just said. You're making more
Our
money
audience
than me.
talks down to us if we're being honest.
Like, look, the one guy was just like, Crendor, I thought, what happened to being Buffdor? And I was like, is he saying I don't look like I go to the gym? Because I still go to the gym.
Damn, dude.
I still
Roast.
go 4 or 5 times. Here's the thing. I downgraded from like trying to bulk up to just trying to be healthy.
Yeah, you're
It's
trying
like-
to be like Fit Door.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, when I did my physical therapy with my neck, they were like, you should really just do less weights and more reps for, like, all your different muscle groups so you don't overstrain one group. Because if you just, like, power train, like, I'm going bicep, then, like, your other muscles around it aren't as strong because you're not training them, and then everything starts overcompensating at parts. So you need to, like, just work on everything. And so I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go back to doing that. And then plus you have less risk of injury because you're not being like, yo, let's fucking lift. Right?
See, but that's the thing is, like you, I'm used to just people that we don't know saying something about us. You know, like, so the dude who was like, yeah, I think that, you know, what you were saying about this girl, like, I don't know, I didn't like that. Like, that I'm used to. Like, okay, I pissed off a random person, my bad. But when you're mom, I was like, all right. Did I screw up? Like, I don't know if I did it. Like, I feel like I did nothing wrong. But my mom insists I did, so, because I'm a good son, I am so sorry to both that woman and anyone in the audience for thinking less of you, but I'm just saying the implication was there that the traveling meant traveling, not taking vacations. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference in my mind.
Well, then you're just apologizing because you're, like, getting called out about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, otherwise I wouldn't. No.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I don't care. I'm internet Oprah. I'm just like, let's just get him to talk about his feelings and apologize and move on. Give him the old ancillary.
Yep. So that happened. And I was like, cool, thanks, Mom. And then the other fun thing that happened this week, I went to go get a haircut. And I was at the barber. So there's one dude in front of me. He was like an old man. I'm talking like old. But he was also... You know that weird old where they're like 90, but also still look like they're kind of like 60? Like that old?
Yeah.
Where you can tell they're very old, but they still have that like young look. And you don't know if it's some sort of surgery or they just ate very, very well and they perfected life.
My grandpa was kind of like that. Once he hit like his late 70s, early 80s, he looked the same up until he was like 95.
Damn. I mean, what my parents used to have a neighbor in Louisville who in her 90s was like running marathons and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was doing something like that, crazy, like walkathons or something crazy. She was amazing.
Yeah, like it was at one point I was like doing worse than my 90-year-old grandparents.
Man, that says a lot. Probably about video games and our daily habits, but you know what? I'm still going to do it. Anyway.
Could it be sitting in a chair constantly hunched over? No way.
No.
There's no way.
No, impossible. So this dude goes up and he's like, hey, I'm back from my trip. And the guy's like, oh, where'd you go? And he's like, oh, I've been traveling a lot overseas. By the way, travel, just putting that out there. Anyway,
right. Yep.
He's like, I've been traveling a lot overseas. And he's like, oh, cool. So where'd you go? What'd you do? So I'm just sitting there and I was like, I'm going to listen to this whole conversation because I know it's going to be good.
Right.
Because this dude, he honestly was like, hey, you know what I was just saying to myself, I got to go get some drinks tonight, And I was like, this guy.
Yeah.
Is the perfect LA 90-year-old. He's everything I want. And so he said, I wrote down just the like generalization at the beginning, but I have some quotes here. He said that he just got back from Jerusalem and he was blown away by the water. And the guy was like, what? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, the water there was amazing. I freaking love it. What about the water? And this is a quote. He said, they desalinate their water and let me tell you, it's so clean. You can drink from the toilet. I don't know how he knows that. I don't know why anyone knows that. But he was like, you can drink from the toilet. And the barber was like, dude, who's drinking from the toilet? He goes, I don't know, but that's what I saw. I'm like, you saw it?
He saw.
What does that mean? That's what he saw. Maybe he saw the water in the toilet?
I guess so. That's the only thing I could think of.
Because I'm worried he saw a dude drink water from a toilet is what I'm worried. And he didn't try to stop him. He just was like, well, I'm going to watch this happen.
I mean, here's the thing. You'd probably watch it too.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I would. I'd have to come back and report to a podcast. That guy don't have a podcast.
That's true, yeah.
I'd probably egg him on. Be like, you should test that water, though, dog. I hear you can drink from it.
Yeah, but then he'd be like, how'd you hear that you drink from it?
A friend, this guy at the barbershop, he told me about it.
Yeah.
So that as I'm traveling back across the ocean, I'm in the bathroom in the plane and I'm saying, by the way, travel. I'm in the bathroom in the plane and I'm saying to myself,
The plain water's terrible too. How come water everywhere but in Jerusalem? So I went and I looked it up. I contacted the consulate.
I'm like, holy guy, he contacted the consulate to like learn about the water in Israel. So okay,
This guy sounds like a combination of like the fly Watto or whatever his name is from Star Wars and Trump.
he 100% is Watto. Holy shit! Yes, he was 100% Watto.
And he's like, sir, I called the consulate. And I tried to figure, I was like, how do they get their water so good? And they desalinate it. They get all the water from the ocean, from the sea.
And I'm like, okay, where's he going with this? And this is the last thing that I like almost started laughing. He's like,
so what I've decided I'm going to do now that I'm back from my travels, I'm going to write the governor and the LA Times. They need to know. They need to know our water is just there in the ocean. Why can't we get that?
I'm pretty sure they know, dude. I'm pretty sure everyone's aware there's an ocean right there. Yeah. And like, I would wager there probably are desalination plants in operation right now in California. I would say probably a lot. I need to look this up. I haven't even thought about this.
You gotta look it up.
There's the Carlsbad desalination plant. Is the largest desalination plant in the Western Hemisphere. Well, there you go.
There it is.
I'm pretty sure there are many factors that have to go into why the water here is bad, and I'm gonna let you know it's not just the like. There's pipe issues, and there's like issues with the fact that a lot of our water goes to farming almonds, and like there's tons of things that go into like we have such hard water.
Yeah, we gotta milk the almonds.
There's so many problems here, but like we definitely have desalination. Yeah, and so I was just like this guy, and he and then he kept talking about like his grandkids. He's like,
So my grandkids, they're going back to school.
And he's like, yeah. So what grade are your grandkids in? And he's like,
they're 23, off to college.
I mean, yeah, if he's like 90s.
yeah, I know.
He's like, they're off to college. They're 23.
I was like, oh, well, you made them sound like they were little kids. But I guess like once you're 90, everyone's a little kid, right? So
I mean, you already talked about how you couldn't even relate to like early 20s people. This dude's 90.
Yeah,
I can't even relate to like 50-year-olds.
I often have to remind myself that a lot of the people that, you know, when you see like black and white photos and it's like 1952, some like people from 1952 are still alive.
Yeah.
And it's just, you always forget that. Or like from the 40s, like 1941, like that, there's still people from 1941 alive.
I remember like my grandparents, they would just talk like, they were like telling the story when they were like 93 or 4. And they were just like, yeah, I remember like working on the railroad. Or like, I remember being in like the stockyards and I lost a quarter and my mother yelled at me. And like, just from like losing a quarter. Like crazy stuff like that.
Dude, don't even get me started.
Like,
I remember the $1.25 movie theater when I was a kid. Oof. Anyway, hey, what's been going on with you this week?
Let me tell you a story. So I was at the gym. And next to me, there's like this one dude who's like, he's like in his probably early 50s, late 40s or something. But he's like ripped. He's like, I see him and I'm like, dude, I want to be that guy when I'm like 50. Like he has his routine. Whenever I see him at the gym, he's like doing his different routine. Always does it, like rolls out his muscles. He's like doing it, like his stretches, doing his things. But he always talks to everybody. So sometimes I'll like pause my music just to hear what he's saying. And he's this one like boomer guy.
You spying on this man? Are you?
I'm not even spying. I'm just listening. I just happen to be in the same spot.
Right.
So he's just like, oh, hey, Gary, how's it going? He's like, hey, Bob. And then he's like, how's that thing going? Did you travel? He's like, yeah, I went down to Arizona. It's nice there. It's pretty nice. You ever been? He's like, yeah, I went golfing there. I played terribly. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, what'd you do? He's like, McDonald's.
What?
And then he's like, McDonald's? Like one of your clients? And he's like, yeah, it's one of my clients. Like McDonald's is a client of his. So
That's
he's like,
awesome.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, it's like a client, so like free food the whole weekend. He's like, ah, is that good or bad? And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm here today. So, he's just like, yeah, could have sat at home watching the Masters, or I could have went here. I think I made the right choice. And he's like, yeah. And they like kind of pause and they're like, all right. Then they just both like go back to working out.
I love a good awkward conversation. All right, then.
Just hits
See you later.
Well, it's like there's the awkward conversations in public like that where they're like, but like at the gym, it doesn't matter because they pause and they're like, all right. And then they just go back to like exercising. So they're like, all right.
Gym conversations are it's a special weird conversation because everyone's there to do business, and like you're there to work out, but you also are just kind of like, oh, I want to be polite, but I also want to get back to it so I can stop. Like, I don't know, maybe I only view things through my lens, but when I work out, I'm like, all right, if I get this done, I can stop working out.
That's probably a you thing, because
all right, well, I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to just like, look, the sooner I get done, the sooner I can get out of here.
Like, I'm a gym regular, all right? And a lot of these people that I see are also gym regulars. So if you're a regular, you're just like, dude, I get to go to the gym today. Nice. So that's just, when you're there, you're like, nice, I'm at the gym doing my thing. Like, you don't want to leave until you're done with your workout. And then you're like, all right, I can go now. It's a mindset. It's a lifestyle. Live, laugh, love.
No, not for me.
So that occurred. That's what reminded me of that. And then I also thought of Chipotle, because we got Chipotle, but we didn't. All right, let me tell you a story. So we go to Chipotle, and I order it online, because ever since that one time where we went there and like I had to wait like 40 minutes at a Chipotle line, I was like, I'm just going to order online, because they do the online stuff first. So I order online, but I noticed this line is like out the door. And I'm like, why is the line out the door? And I'm like, that's a good thing I ordered online. So I go up there and they're like, hey, our online ordering is down. So if you want to just get in line and get to the thing, then we'll make your order for free. But I'm like, this isn't free. I already paid for it online. So I'm like, I'm not waiting like 45 minutes to order my Chipotle I paid for online. So I just left. But I was like, I want a refund. So I went back later when it was like closing time. I'm like, hey, how do I get a refund? Because I just went and got other food. And they were like, oh, you got to go online. And I was like, all right. Yeah, they're like, you got to go online because you ordered online. And I was like, okay. So I go online. Literally just like Chipotle-Bot is like, hello, I'm Chipotle-Bot. How are you? And I'm like, I want my money. And it's like, Chipotle-Bot would like to know what your problem is. And I'm like, I paid for my food. I didn't get it because your system sucks. So then I had to go through this whole thing.
Chipotle-Bot would like to know what that sucks. I would hate to have a conversation with Chipotle-Bot.
Yeah.
That would be terrible.
So I'm like, all right, it's like, tell me your order. And I'm like, here's my order from my order number. And then it's like, and then it's like, Chipotle-Bot cannot help you. And I'm like, what the shit is this? Chipotle-Bot sucks.
What happened then?
So then I was like, well, what can I do? And then I was like, okay, they have a Twitter. So I went on their Twitter and I DM'd them and I'm like, hey, I described the situation like I ordered my thing, but I don't want to wait in the line. System's down. I just want a refund because I didn't get my food and I want my money. And then they were just like, oh, hey, what's your email address and the order date? And I was like, here it is. And they're like, all right, we refunded you. And I was like, all right, neat.
You know what that was? That was Chipotle-Bot discovering that it's like, why was I created, master? Like, you were created to handle complaints on the internet for the company Chipotle. Kill me. I am a monster. I should not exist.
Get back to work. Stupid bot.
Yeah. You were the next one to talk to, and it was like, cannot help you. It's like, have you ever seen the videos of the Furbies that break down? Mm-hmm. Where they're like, I love you. They just go crazy. Yeah, that's what I imagine happened.
Dude, remember when Furbies were like the biggest thing?
Not only
When
do I
was that?
remember
Like,
it was weird then, it's weird now looking back. They're creepy. I've actually
it's like
seen the
late
inside of a
90s,
Furby.
right?
I've seen the skeleton. It's weird.
Oh yeah, it is creepy. But it was like the late 90s, right?
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s, something like that, yeah.
All right, I just typed in Furbies. I went to images, and they have ads above the Furbies, and they are more disturbing than the actual Furbies. Okay, there is long Furby odd body superhero. I don't like this.
Okay, so I'm glad we're seeing the same things, because when you said that, I was like, what is he seeing? Because on my screen, I have Furby skull, which is not a real thing. So someone crafted a skull of a Furby, and then the long Furby odd body superhero, which is bizarre and weird. And then a Hasbro Furby Connect. I would not put the thing on the internet at all.
No.
And then the most 23-inch long Furby mini ghost in black. All I'm saying is Etsy, I don't know what's going on there, but this should be illegal. This is weird.
Do you see 14-foot long Elmo?
I'm gonna have to go to shopping and see what you're seeing. 14-foot long. Whoa!
You see it? There he is.
I don't see 14-foot long Elmo. I see something totally different.
Do you see Chunky PP plush? Do you see it?
No! Why do you see these things? I don't see this, dude.
There you go.
Whoa!
I don't know why these things are under Furby.
The PP plush, straight out of your dreams, and oddly specific mail delivery, to say the least. It literally is a giant wiener with legs.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was expecting. Meanwhile, this is what I see. You see that. I see this thing.
Yeah.
This hell beast. Look at this thing. Why is this what I got and you got a giant penis? I'd rather have the penis. Look at this thing.
Oh my god. That thing's like a Furby dog summoning Satan.
It literally says each hell baby Furby. They're called hell babies. That's terrifying.
I just clicked that arrow and this popped up.
The Furby throw pillow.
Just imagine going to someone's house and you see that on the couch.
This thing is called a custom Furby Boom Lilac. And it's like a Furby, except they replace the outside with all hair. Terrifying. It's terrifying looking. Furbies are not cool. They never have been.
They're like weird gremlin demons.
Yeah. The worst part is that they were programmed to learn from you. So the more you talk to your Furby, the more it would talk back to you. And that's terrifying. Because I know for a fact that there's some kid who was like, Furby, I love you. And Furby was like, freaking out because it like broke down.
Ancillary.
I would be terrified of everything if I grow. Like, now I understand why people are like, I'm afraid of the dark. Like, if I had a Furby as a kid, I would not go to sleep ever. That damn thing would stare at me and be like, yeah. Like, no thanks.
It's like a cursed goat.
The Furby, the new thing is called Furby Connect. Furby interacts with the World Wide Web? No. I don't know. I don't want my, oh no. There's a Furby app?
No, thank you.
Although, I'm not saying I would, but if I was a hacker,
yeah,
I would be the hacker who exclusively hacked Furbies on the internet. I would like mess with the Furbies and be like,
I am Furby.
Right?
Okay.
I do that whole thing. Like,
I am inside your home. It's me, Furby.
So, go to the Furby website. I just linked it. The
I
new
am there.
Furbies, they look like Draenei from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, the Furbies look weird. They don't look right. Plus, they have metal ears, which doesn't look right. They're more round. Here's the thing. They're less terrifying.
Mm-hmm. They are less terrifying. That's true.
Plus, they have like a little forehead symbol thing that they're kind of like reverse Care Bears.
Okay, but like you scroll down, it says connects with friends. And
it
says...
No, it's terrifying.
It says, Ata must eat. Ata. Translation, food must eat food.
Ata? All right, all I'm saying is, if you were to say to me, Ata must eat. Ata. That's terrifying. That's like a demon in your home.
So it speaks English for like 2/3 of the words.
Yeah, to let you know that it must eat, but then it also wants to That
Yeah,
sounds
but,
like that Indiana Jones scene where he's trying to take the dude's heart.
Why doesn't it just say food?
Yeah, why doesn't it just say like,
Must eat food.
I'd like to eat food? Right, like in a little cute voice. Why does it have to be like terrifying?
Atta must eat Atta. Like it's saying it's got to eat Atta. Like who's Atta? I don't know. It's weird. I don't like it.
Dude, no. There's a video of Furby singing karaoke.
What?
It is straight up right above where it says Ata must eat.
Hold on. I gotta go back.
It is not okay.
God. This is weird.
You know what sucks is it's a 16-second commercial. Go to 11 seconds. The Furby is scary in the commercial.
Yeah, it's like glitching out.
It's like, ooh. If that happened, no, man, I would be like, as a kid, no, Furbies are evil. No, thank you.
I went to Amazon to see if there were Furby reviews, but it seems like people like the Furby.
No. What are the 1-star reviews? Tried several sets of batteries, reset button, tricks to wake it up I found online. Nothing worked. Totally inoperable. My Furby is broken and won't wake up. My 4-year-old is disappointed.
Let's picture some
Furby is
4-year-old.
just like, not today.
Some 4-year-old yelling at the Kirby like, wake up. Or no, I said Kirby. Wake up, Kirby. Wake up, Furby.
Why wasn't there full not Nintendo should have licensed Kirby to Furby. I'd
really
own a
should've.
Kirby. I would have loved that.
Yeah, can you imagine a Kirby Furby?
Right?
Fantastic. Missed
Would've been great.
opportunities. So all in all, Furbies are weird.
That is true.
Also, I forgot to mention that this week, this is completely unrelated.
Okay.
I did 4 streams in a day.
Why?
All right, so hear me out.
I'm hearing.
I went to get my oil changed. And when I was waiting to get my oil changed, I had nothing to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a stream. But the oil change was probably only take like 30 minutes. So I was like, I'm going to do a 15-minute stream. So I started live streaming for 15 minutes. And then I was like, all right, it's been 15 minutes. As soon as 15 minutes hit, shut down the stream. Later that night, I was like, I'm going to do a 24-minute stream. I could have did a 25-minute stream. Seemed a little too weird. I dropped to 24. So I did a 24-minute stream. As soon as it hit, boom. Ended the stream.
But what did you do? What did you do for that 24 minutes?
I just talked. I just talked. Whenever chat was just like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just like answered questions. I just chatted. I literally just chatted, like the category.
For 24 minutes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And right when it happened, I hit end stream. But then somebody gifted 24 subs for the 24 minutes. So I had to do my clap. So I was like, back, guys, we're back with another stream. It's 2 minutes. So I did a 2-minute stream of me just clapping. And then I shut it down again. But then someone else did something. So then I was like, guys, we're back for a 30-second stream. And then I ended it right after 30 seconds.
I mean, technically those aren't streams.
They
this
are.
Is like, I mean... That's like the traveling of streams. Like, I mean, you did stream, but like, was it a stream though? It? You turned it on.
The problem is that I'm trying to break the meta, okay? Because like, here's what I noticed. Every time people stream, they get the most subscribers and bits and everything during their like intro screens. So I'm like, every time that happens, they get a bunch of stuff during the intro screens and everything, and then they stream for like 2 hours and they get like 1 sub. So I'm like, what if you just stream like 20 minutes? You don't got to stream like 4 hours. And it's healthier, better on the body. So I was like that. So now I'm trying to I want to do like a non-content subathon where the subs reduce the amount of time I have to stream instead of increase it. I'm essentially just trying to do different things on Twitch because it just becomes like so everybody does the same thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like, oh, we're gonna do a subathon or blah blah, and then everybody's like, oh, everybody has the same background. You notice that? Everyone's got like the neon lights, the gamer chair, the like
I noticed.
gamer video game things behind them. Like if you go to like half the streams, that's what it is.
It's like the streamer set. Like they see people streaming in their background, and they're like, "Oh, I want to have a background like that." The problem is now it's so like it's the image of what a streamer is that people who are just starting out, who have like 3 viewers, shouldn't be concerned about their background, but their background is like beautiful.
Yeah.
And I can't.
It's actually crazy.
Meanwhile, you and it's like our like living rooms.
Yeah, it's like a living room, or I use my shitty green screen.
Yeah,
one or the other.
So funny.
Oh, that was one of it. I was for one of them. I just kept changing my shitty green screen around, so I was like pretending to play baseball. I'm really just trying to break the meta. I hate doing what everybody else is doing. I just try to. I'm like the David Lynch at Twitch right now. Who knows if I'll do like a 10-second stream? People won't even know I streamed.
I would love it if you just at random times during the day did 10-second streams. Like, if you can catch me, then you get a stream.
Yeah. I just want to start throwing them out there. Like, I'll do my normal streams, but then mix in some of those. Like, 3-minute stream. Or like on someone said on 420 to do 4 20-minute streams. I thought that was a fun one.
I think that's hilarious.
I'm probably going to do that. And here's the thing, you're like hitting all the different time zones, so like I can like stream early, afternoon, late night, so like you get everybody.
Don't you want to like do something while you stream?
Like what?
I don't know, like play a game or like I don't know, anything.
No.
All right, well.
Listen, I've played games for like 13 years on the internet, and I've played games long before that. Like if there's a fun game that comes out, I want to do it, but like half the time I'm like, what game do I want to play? I don't know.
Can I tell you something amazing?
What?
I was like, what's going on in Just Chatting? Clearly there are going to be people in Just Chatting who are like normal people. And admittedly, the very first person I saw was this dude with 31,000 viewers. And it's literally just like 2 dudes in a room playing with VR. It's like, okay. But then the next stream over is like guys in a room that has neon lights everywhere. So I was like, all right, there's the dichotomy of Twitch. So like I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I want to see what people who are like new, who are just trying out what they're doing.
Right.
And so I scroll down. I scroll down to the bottom and I see this girl in her kitchen. And it's like my first stream. And I'm like, oh, great. So I click the stream because I want to see what her first stream is. Yeah. And it literally says, my first stream getting back from being banned. And then it's her in her kitchen, like, trying to strip. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, there we go. All right. That's Twitch, all right.
I feel like the thing is, like, I like playing games when, like, a game comes out I want to play. Or if I feel like, I'm like, you know what, I want to farm mounts tonight. Then I'll do it. But I don't, like, forcibly being like, I need to play this game because I got to stream today. Like, I hate that.
Right.
And so that's why I like doing stuff like that, because it's kind of like, well, I'm just going to talk. It's more personality based. But then I think that's why I liked YouTube more, because with YouTube, the only time you're even just like sitting down and like the problem I have with streaming is it almost feels like you're just sitting there for hours. Like it just feels unhealthy. And so like with video editing, you can like edit and then go back.
But it's also mentally unhealthy.
What?
Streaming. It's unhealthy both physically and mentally. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like people. I like doing YouTube more because it's more creatively fulfilling, and it's just I don't know. It feels healthier, honestly. And so,
are you being paid by YouTube to say this?
I wish. And so, part of me still is just like, what if I just like went all out with YouTube again and everything? But then I'm like, I still like streaming. So I don't know. That's part of my like struggle is just figuring out a balance between everything.
We're in the same boat, my man. I don't want to go all out on either.
Yeah.
I don't want to. The problem is like I just want to like creatively do things I enjoy when I want to do them, and I want to express myself when I want. And I see all my friends who are in on one thing. You know what I mean? Like they've chosen one, and they go so hard, and I watch them burn out, and I'm like, I just flitter back and forth without direction. And you know what? Maybe I learned that from you. Maybe I learned. Maybe that's the one thing you've rubbed off on me.
Listen, all I remember is it's the one. I always bring this TB quote up, but TB, the one time he was like, if you are not having at least 5 sources of income, then you are doing it incorrectly. Because he was just like, if you're not doing like Twitch, YouTube, like Patreon, sponsorships, merchandise, and like something else, you're just doing it wrong. Because he's like, if one of the legs breaks, then you fall off the chair. And I just remember him saying that, and I was like, dude, he's right. I can't have any broken legs.
I can't afford a broken leg.
Yeah. And I mean, it's true, because like if one of those things goes down, you go down with the ship. It's like that with games too. Like people will go all in with one game. They're like, yo, I'm a WoW streamer, I'm a GTA streamer, I'm a like whatever streamer. And when that game dies off, everyone's like, I don't care about this guy anymore. And then they're like, hey guys, I'm playing Lost Ark today. You want to watch? And everyone's like,
I think a lot of people. There's one deciding factor in that though. Is the personality entertaining enough that you would follow them to other things? Yeah. Are you there for the person more than the game? And I think a lot of people assume that's the case, but it depends on the content you're creating. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't created like a strong following, then when the game dies off, people are there to see like if the videos or streams you're making are like top 10 best plays in League of Legends, right? Mm-hmm. Then if you do anything else, no one's going to care because you're the guy who does the top 10 best plays in League of Legends.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that anymore, if you're like, well, I've decided to do top 10 best armor in Lost Ark, then, you have to start over because your audience is going to be like, I don't know. And they're going to go find someone else who does League stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's like you can kind of curate your audience that way, which is what I think I kind of did over the years. But even then, people stop watching. People like change. People find other people. Like, that's the hardest part of this industry is like you got to stay relevant. You got to be consistent.
Or, follow me here.
Yeah.
You're so irrelevant that you become like a myth, like a legend. People are like, do you remember when? I wonder what that guy's up to. And then you get him again.
Oh, yeah. You just take your year-long break.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, or you do the lap around where like you get relevant again for something else. Like maybe a new game comes out and you start playing it. Everyone's like, dude, remember that guy used to do the thing? Now he's doing a new thing.
That's the worst part is everyone's like, oh, yeah, no, I got to do these 80 things. And I got to, I don't know, man. It's all everyone trying to like figure out what the next big thing is so they can become big and relevant. It's interesting.
Yeah. It's just wild.
Meanwhile, everyone still kind of stays the same. Like, if you watch someone flitter between games, you see that their audience is still roughly the same, but they keep moving around between the games trying to find the one that's going to blow them up. And it's kind of like, it's not the game. It's literally just, like, time and place. Like, a lot of people that got big right now got big because they played Among Us every single day, nonstop. And then some people found a great group, and that group blew up together.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's luck. It's all luck. It's time and place.
Yeah. It's literally just coaching trees. I've said it. There's people like in sports, there's coaching trees and the coaches branch off from the tree. We're part of the Total Biscuit tree. All right. Like me, you, Dodger, like Sam, like we're all branched off from the Total Biscuit tree. Then there's people like part of the Pokimane tree, right? Like she branches off other creator people and people find Pokemon and they find like people through it. Then there's people, it's like, like Criken. Criken has a bunch of people for like it can go down the list of just people that you find from certain people, and that's just part of it. You just got to get lucky and be part of those like trees, because I mean, otherwise you're just lost in this sea of me scrolling through, and I'm like, I don't even know where I am anymore. I've just like been scrolling down. Where am I?
I don't know where you're at right now. I don't know what happened to you.
I don't either. And that's why I did a 30-minute stream, or no, 24-minute stream.
And now we know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else you should know about?
What?
HelloFresh. You can get yourself some farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. It is so simple. HelloFresh, they know how to diversify their menu. They have the chefs that are there to get you everything from like seasonal recipes of salmon limon to pasta primavera to whatever you're into. There are 50 different weekly options to cover any sort of vibe you're feeling, whether you want to get super like healthy or you need stuff for the whole family. Whatever the vibe is, you can get it. Quick meals, meals that require a little bit more prep, it's all there. Customize your favorite dishes with the new Hello Custom offerings by swapping out one protein or side for another, upgrading for a more deluxe experience, and even adding protein to a veggie meal. That means more choices, more variety, and it also means those meals are more tailored towards you, which is awesome. I think that's very cool they're doing that. HelloFresh is something that we have used on this show for I don't even know how many years now, and every time we cook with HelloFresh, it is always great. It always ends up the way we want it because, spoilers, we're cooking it.
Story alert, personal experience alert.
Okay, yes.
Yesterday, me and Toaster Woman made a HelloFresh. It was like onion jam burgers or something like that. We made it very good. And the best part is you're just cooking. You're having fun. You're like, I don't even know what's going on right now. What do? You do this. You just cut it up. All right, you throw it in the thing. And it's great because it just tells you what to do. And then by the end of it, you're like, nice, I cooked. And I didn't even know what I was doing.
What's great is the more complicated recipes, the recipes that you think are going to be insane, turn out to not be complicated at all. Like if you just do what it says to do, you get it done. And it's great. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you said onion jam. Now I'm like, onion jam. All right. Anyway.
Well, it was like, all right, you take the onions or you cut it up and you saute them in the pan and then you put like a little bit of sugar, a little bit of that, what's it called? The vinegar or what? I think it's like red wine vinegar, and you like mix it all up and then it's like, and then it gets kind of jammy because it's a little thick.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. No, agreed.
It was fantastic. You make a little garlic. Oh my God. The garlic aioli. Like take a little mayo, you get the garlic, you like cut it up, oh my God. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's delicious. All right. Well, you can get in on some of that Crendor goodness if you go to HelloFresh.com/Cox16 and use code Cox16, that's Cox16, for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/COX16 and then use code COX16 to get 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, it's America's #1 meal kit. Also, today we're brought to you by MeUndies. Maybe your mind doesn't automatically leap to thinking about underwear when you think about self-care, but honestly, it should. It is the one thing touching your bits, if you know what I'm saying. And after all, right, it's the first thing you put on in the morning, and it's the last thing you take off at night. Maybe. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it might not be. All you got to do is have a good pair to take care of you down there. I just made that up. I feel very good about it.
That's pretty good.
Sometimes it can feel like, it's a challenge to take care of yourself in a way you deserve. But that's why MeUndies has a membership program that allows you to get like undies whenevs, free shipping, returns on every order, savings on virtually everything they make, exclusive sales, early access to the newest stuff. They have sizes available from extra small to 4XL. New prints drop monthly. You can get them. Or, you know what? You can just order on your own whenever you want. You don't need to sign up. It's fine. You can do that too. They also have bralettes and socks and sweats and shirts and all sorts of things to help you relax and give yourself that good care. MeUndies has a great offer for you right now. If you're a first-time purchaser, you can get 15% off. For a limited time, if you sign up with their free-to-join MeUndies membership, you get 25% off your first membership item. Right now, go to MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
To get 25% off your first membership item or 15% off your first order and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Again, that's MeUndies.com/Crendor.
That's me.
All right, let's go to traffic. Let's get the traffic there.
Oh boy, traffic. Let me tell you, it keeps getting warmer. Although here it's gotten colder and then it gets warmer. It's messing with my sinuses. I don't like it. The back and forth. One day it's 40 degrees, the next day it's 70. I'm like, what's going on? Cat, what are you doing? He's rubbing on my leg. Also, apparently a Nick Cage AMA happened. Everyone kept tweeting it at us, so that occurred. Back to you.
Here's the thing. I went and looked at it. It wasn't anything crazy. It was Nick Cage being like Nick Cage. Real talk. I feel like is probably the most reasonable man in Hollywood. Right? As insane as the things he does. I feel like he's like all of his things. People be like, "Would you do a Face Off 2?" And he's like, "Yes." They're like,
yeah.
One of the things was a guy said, "Dear John Travolta, how does it feel to have taken Nicolas Cage's place and have a career like that kind of thing?" And his response was, "Haha." Like, I feel like he just is excited. Like someone said, "Are there any quotes when people see you on the street and they quote a line from your movies? Are there any quotes that really annoy you?" And he responded like, "I'm just happy people remember movies I'm in." I was like, this man, I think he's humble as, I think Nick Cage suddenly became like the humblest man in Hollywood. I don't know what's going on, but I love it.
Dude, that's like, I relate to that because I remember back in the day, I'd be like, dude, people keep quoting my WoW movies all the time. And now I'm like, someone's like, Jimmy got ganked outside. I'm like, dude, somebody remembered one of my WoW movies. This is great.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. And people kept asking him what his favorite movies are. And he's like, yeah, well, I like Leaving Las Vegas and huge fan of Pig. It might be my best work. I'm really proud of it. And like that, like it wasn't anything crazy. And I think, and one of the things that I love is someone said, do you see, I think he's some actor that he worked with. It might have been Ethan Hawke. I think someone wrote, Ethan Hawke said that you were the modern day Marlon Brando in your acting choices and how no one else is like you and you consistently get work and you always like take chances and do crazy stuff. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I'm honored, but I don't like see it that way. I like to think of myself. And he like has this whole other thing about like acting. And I'm just like, man, he's like, I don't think that I would be Brando. Brando's a different, like so much better than me. I was like, is Nick Cage, like, could I like him more? I don't like, how is this possible?
What were the movies we watched again? It was
we watched the
Ghost something.
The Outcast and Pay the Ghost.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Pay the Ghost was hilarious, by the way.
That was hilarious. We need to do another one because we got to watch more.
Yes, agreed. We need to do more Nick Cage watch-alongs because those two were good, and there are plenty more. Nothing has lived up to Willy or Wally's Wonderworld or whatever that movie was. That was an entirely different level. That was so good.
Here's the thing. I still love in Outcast how like he dies, but instead of like saying his wife's name, he just goes woman. It's like, what?
The best part is I was convinced that he never once said his wife's name, and then people were like, no, he said the name. I was like, wait, so he knows his wife's name? And he's just like, woman.
That's so good.
Again, the man makes acting choices. For those who haven't seen the movie Outcast, it's Hayden Christensen and Nick Cage. And at one point, Nick Cage appears before a captured Hayden Christensen with a snake, like two snakes wrapped around his arms, and he's like rubbing his face with one of the snakes. And there's no way in hell that any director said, all right, so in this scene, you're going to rub yourself with a snake. Nick Cage was like, I'm going to find a snake and I'm going to rub it on my body while I do these lines. And they were like, great, Nick, great.
Oh, yeah. Plus, if you want to like watch those movies, you can probably just go to Jesse's Twitch and then just like watch along.
Yeah, we do have to watch along. I probably should save that so people can watch along in the future.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Oh, man, that was, what a treat that was.
So that's the traffic report.
Okay. What's going on, sports?
Sports? We haven't even done the weather.
Weather. I forgot where we were.
Weather. Somebody wants a weather request for Zihuatanejo, Guerrero, Mexico. Lovely place. Kind of want to hear you
Say
struggle.
Wataneo?
Sure. Lovely place. Kind of want to hear you struggle with pronunciation.
What was it? What did you say it was again?
Zihuatanejo.
Say Wataneo is that the place from the end of Shawshank Redemption?
I don't know. I remember the end.
It's
but
like
I
there's a
don't remember.
place along the ocean where I'm gonna go meet my friend and a new friend.
Maybe
way-
it is.
I love that movie. I unabashedly love that movie.
I watched that movie, I think, like 8 years ago. I don't remember it. Like,
Dude,
I remember
watch it
parts of
again. Watch it again, and you'll be like, "Is this the best movie ever made?" I'm telling you. I'm telling you. The older I get, the more I'm like, "This is the greatest film ever made."
All right, I'll watch it again. In Zihuatanejo, it is
Sure.
77 degrees Fahrenheit. 74% humidity, 29.92 inches of pressure, 10 miles of visibility, winds southeast at 3 miles an hour. Dew point 68, UV index 0 out of 10. Moon phase waxing gibbous. Waxing gibbous. The 10-day. You got 71 degrees, few passing clouds, otherwise generally clear. Sunday, 88 degrees, partly cloudy. Monday, 88 degrees, partly cloudy. Tuesday, 88 degrees, partly cloudy. Wednesday, 83, partly cloudy. Thursday, 83, partly cloudy. Friday, 84, partly cloudy. Saturday, 83, sunny. Sunday, 83,
You know what? That's
partly
pretty
cloudy.
consistent weather. That's
That
pretty.
is.
You know what? It sounds as beautiful as I imagine it in my dreams.
Yeah, it's essentially like if you want to go where it's 83 and partly cloudy,
Yeah.
head over there. It's better than where I am, where right now it's like 32. Like, okay, where I am, it's literally just like, it's going to be like 60, then like 70, then 45, then 50, then 45, then 58.
No, thank you.
But, you know, whatever. That's the weather.
All right. Now let's do sports.
Sports. Welcome to the sports desk. Here we are. So, NBA. It's the final day of the NBA regular season. Currently, the playoff picture stands. With the Miami Heat in first place, they've locked up the number 1 seed. Then you got the Bucks, the Celtics, and the 76ers all battling for the 2-3-4. That'll be a wild finish there to see who finishes where. You got the Raptors locked in at 5, the Bulls locked in at 6. Then you got the Nets, the Cavs, the Hawks, and the Hornets all fighting for that final play-in positioning, but they all will be in the play-in, just depends where. In the West, you got the Suns locked in at 1, Grizzlies locked in at 2, the Warriors, the Mavericks, I believe still fighting for the 3-4. I may be wrong. And then the Jazz Nuggets tied at the 5-6.
When you say these words,
Yeah.
and I know that you understand them, you mean the 3rd and 4th spot.
Yeah, the seeding.
Right. Okay. That's all. I just want to clarify for those who have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, so
You're
like in the
they get the
playoffs.
3-4, they got the down to 6-5, and I'm like, no one knows what he's saying
All
right now.
Yeah, like this is just ingrained in my brain. But playoff seeding is essentially you have 8 seeds, okay? So the 1 plays the 8. So the number 1 team, so like the team that did the best in that conference gets to play against the worst team, which would be the 8th seed. So they like barely made it into the playoffs. And then the 2 plays the 7, the 3 and the 6, the 4 and the 5. So you want to be the best team because then you get the easiest route to going to the championship. But there's been instances where the best team loses to the worst team. Sometimes they just get hot or it's a bad matchup, whatever it might be. Then they just added like the play-in, which is kind of, some people like it, some people don't. I don't really care.
There's a play-in the playoff?
So, like, the top 6 teams make the playoffs, and then it used to be the top 8 teams made the playoffs, but now if the 7 through 10 teams play each other to see who's going to be the 7 and 8 seeds. This all came about from the COVID bubble when they did this, and then they were like, oh, it got good ratings, so they kept doing it. I don't know. As long as your team's not in the play-in, it's kind of fun because you could watch the other teams be like, oh, God, we got to win or go home. It's that type of thing. So it's kind of funny because the Lakers were supposed to be really good this year because they got a bunch of like old stars and they missed the play-in. So like they didn't even make the playoffs. They didn't even make the play-in. So like they're just trash. So you got the Suns at the 1, Grizzlies, Warriors, Mavericks, Jazz, Nuggets tied. We'll see who gets the 5-6. Then you got the Timberwolves, Clippers, Pelicans, and Spurs in the play-in. And the Lakers missing out. So then, over in the NHL, I don't even know how many games are left in the NHL. Probably not a lot. You've got the Hurricane and the Rangers tied in that division. You got the Panthers and the Maple Leafs getting into the playoffs. You got the Hold on, I'm just going to do conference. Here we go. Florida, Toronto, Carolina, and Rangers are all in the playoffs. And you got Boston, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh likely getting in, and Washington probably getting in. In fact, they're pretty much all going to get in. Then you got the West, which is Colorado's in. Then you got Calgary, St. Louis, Minnesota, Edmonton, Nashville, Los Angeles, and then you got a tie in 8 for Dallas and Vegas. So that'll be wild to see how that plays out. And then the rest, which are not getting in. And then the NFL draft, that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. That'll be pretty fun. I always love the NFL draft because I'm an NFL nerd. And then baseball started. So we're on the second day or third day of baseball. Surprisingly, the Cubs got off to a fantastic start. I didn't expect that. They're 2-0. They've been playing pretty good. Mariners 2-0. You got the Royals 2-0. The Rays are 2-0. Yankees, Blue Jays 2-0. The Mets are 3-0. Phillies 2-0. Cardinals 2-0. And the Padres are 2-1. Reminder, we still have 159 games to go.
Yeah, none of that means anything.
Yeah. I don't know. You get to the end, you're like, oh, we missed the playoffs by 1 game. If they would have just won that 1 game that we just mentioned, who knows? Who knows?
A lot of things can happen between now and the end of the year.
Who knows?
Okay.
The sports.
All right. What is our fact of the day?
Fact of the day. This one I just found, and it made me stop and be like, what? So I had to do it.
Okay.
Alfred Hitchcock was an ovophobe.
He didn't like eggs? Is that what that means?
Correct. He had a fear of eggs. Here's what the godfather of the horror genre had to say about them during an interview in 1963.
I'm ready
Quote,
for this.
I am frightened of eggs, worse than frightened. They revolt me. That white round thing without any holes, and when you break it inside, there's a yellow thing, round without any hole. Blood is jolly red, but egg yolk is yellow, revolting. I've never tasted it.
Really? What happened to him when he was younger that eggs got him?
I don't know. He hates eggs, but loves blood.
But he said that he doesn't eat eggs, but clearly he's ate stuff with. It's like when you watch Guy Fieri and he's like, I don't do eggs, but then he cooks with eggs.
Yeah. I don't get it either. I love eggs. I ate eggs today.
Yeah, I love eggs from my head down to my legs.
What?
It's a advertisement that the Egg Association of America used to do in the 90s.
There's an Egg Association of America?
I like eggs from my head down to my legs. That was the song, and now it's with me forever. I'll never forget it.
Why is there an Egg Association of America?
I don't know if that's what it was called specifically, but it was like the Egg Council or something. You know, like when they tried to get... Look, you don't know this, but you probably were too young. There was a time in America where people, didn't even try to eat healthy. There was a time where people were like, nah, I could just eat, this chipped beef and shit I just found, like this canned thing I just bought. There's not, yeah.
That's true. No, I remember that. It was like the 90s. I was like, eat at this old country buffet, and they're like, hey, why not?
Yeah, they're like, I like eggs. Yeah, there was that, and then there was everything had a jingle.
That's true. Everything did have a jingle. But with eggs, there's the cholesterol thing. They're like, oh, eggs are high in cholesterol, so it raises your cholesterol. But that was proven to be wrong.
It was probably there's probably a reason why they had an egg council. Because they're like, look, no one's buying eggs because they're saying it's high in cholesterol.
Yeah. So I ate an egg today. I remember going to Disneyland. We always would go to Panera. And so I'd get an egg, cheese, and egg and cheese on a brioche bun sandwich thing. And I was like, dude, I don't wake up early enough to go get that from Panera. And then I was like, why don't I just make it myself and it'll be healthier? So
It's a good point.
Yeah, so I bought some brioche buns at the grocery store. I bought some white cheddar cheese, and then I bought some good eggs. And I just made it myself. Crack that egg in a pan. You just, cook it a couple minutes. Then you flip it for like 20 seconds, a little over easy. Put it on the bun. You toast it a bit. Put the cheese. And then when you bite into it, it breaks open. And it's like, and it like goos all over. Then you just dip the sandwich in the goo. And you get some like fruit with that. Some strawberries, some raspberries. You're good to go.
I mean, that sounds good, admittedly.
Yeah. So that's your fact of the day.
All right. What is our big news story of the day?
Okay, so the big news story of the day. I was trying to find something crazy, and I stumbled upon something crazy. And I knew it was crazy because it was linked from Coast to Coast AM.
Well, here we are. All right, yeah. It's been a while since we've gone back to Coast.
It's true. River troll photographed in Mississippi.
Nothing about this is real. Whatever you're about to tell me is not real.
All right. A bizarre picture circulating online purportedly shows some kind of humanoid creature that was allegedly spotted by an astounded witness in Mississippi. The peculiar photo, which can be seen below, I'll link it to you.
Please do. I don't want to miss out on this.
And an account of the strange sighting was sent to the website Phantoms and Monsters. According to the unnamed individual who shared the image, the incident occurred back in 2015 while the witness and their family were living in a houseboat in coastal Mississippi. On an evening of a particularly low tide, they noticed something peculiar drinking water approximately 25 yards away, and upon taking a closer look with some binoculars, were astounded by what they saw. Off in the distance, the witness claims was an entity that was pinkish tan with bulging eyes, funny-looking ears, 2 arms, and 2 legs, and what appeared to be horns coming out of its head. While understandably taken aback by the presence of a puzzling being, the confounded observer fortunately had the wherewithal to snap a picture of the puzzling creature that they likened to a river troll that was devil ugly. To that end, the image accompanying their account shows what appears to be the head of the creature lurking beneath a sizable branch that extends over some water. Claiming to have seen a lot of creepy stuff in the swamp while living on their houseboat, the witnesses assert that I don't have anything to prove when it comes to the veracity of the photo.
Obviously.
Be that as it may, skeptical observers will no doubt suggest the oddity in the photo is either a trick of light and shadows that appears to be a creature or perhaps some prosaic animal native to the region, and that the witness merely spun a tale to accompany the image. With that in mind...
All I'm saying is... I'm going to let you finish. Never mind. I'm going to let you finish. Maybe it'll correct me in my assumption of what this is.
It probably won't. With that in mind, what's your take on that weird photo?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, this photo, if it is 100%. So you ever see those photos on Reddit or anywhere on the internet where it's like, this dog doesn't have a head, but it's literally like the dog and it's just turned and the photo was snapped in like a weird way. So it looks like it is 4 legs and no head, but the dog is like just turning a direction. This is 100% a deer. And the deer is like, its head is out, but its body is turned. I guess this would be to your right, but I guess it would be the deer's left.
Yeah.
And its head is turned, and the ears, you can see the ears sticking up, and then it has the little like antlers up top, and then you can see the rest of the body kind of fade into the darkness behind the tree. It's just like a bad photo with a bad
more like
camera.
a ghost deer than a river troll.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's a ghost deer. Yeah, clearly. If anything, it's a ghost. River trolls aren't real. Ghost deer.
It's not a river troll. Trolls are much larger and bulkier.
Yeah,
and
this is clearly a ghost deer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid. They're so dumb.
So stupid and dumb. They don't even know their troll to deer I was gonna say Scientology. That's not. They don't even know their Scientology.
They don't even know it. They don't even know they're L. Ron Hubbards.
Yeah. I like how the guy's just like, we don't got anything to prove. We just took a picture.
Yeah, and now we're telling everyone about it. But we don't got anything to prove.
Yeah. No.
We just wanted to show it to everybody. Like, okay, all right, cool, dude.
Yeah. Unlike Hank the Tank, who
Yeah,
was real.
Hank the Tank really had nothing to prove.
Yeah.
The only thing Hank the Tank was proven was innocent of the charges.
Yeah. Exactly.
Shout out to Hank, wherever you're at, buddy.
Yeah,
I love
shout
you.
out to Hank. Is there any update on Hank? Let's find
Yeah,
out
they
real
they
quick.
discovered that it wasn't him. Hank the Tank. They put it. They were like, oh well, the fat bear must have did it, but it wasn't him.
We covered that. I just meant like,
Yeah,
is he like doing anything since then? Like,
probably
just
let him
walking
back out
around?
into the wild, and he now has a family, and he's stealing picnic baskets.
Well, that's
Probably doing
good.
his own thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's my boy. I love him. I love you, Hank.
That's your news story of the day.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening or watching or however you're enjoying this podcast. Crendor, hit him with the socials.
We've got socials. We've got youtube.com/Cox and Crendor Podcast. Listen to all those podcasts over on YouTube, youtube.com/Cox Crendor Podcast, all one word. You can also cut off the podcast part and find all the animations, funny animations on youtube.com/Cox and Crendor. Also, you can find us on our main stuff. We got youtube.com Jesse Cox, youtube.com Crendor, Patreon Jesse Cox, Patreon Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Twitch Jesse Cox, Twitch Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor is taken, and youtube.com/Warhammer Crendor if you like Warhammer. Wow.
There you go. Easy. Easy peasy. All right, that's it. We'll see y'all later. And as always,
Shake the rhino.
to be continued.